and suddenly the idea for this came up. It's probably been percolating for a while because I've always thought it'd be fun to tell the backstory about how a song came to be written. And so that's what happened with this, and then suddenly it just blossomed into this show.
When I lived in Hollywood, I had a friend who worked at 20th Century Fox who gave my name to a friend of his who needed songs for a home video he was producing that was meant to protect children from sexual abuse and abduction. There had recently been a huge scandal in LA involving a child care center. The family that owned it were accused of systematically abusing the children under their care. The family swore that they were innocent, but a child psychologist had interviewed the kids and determined that they were telling the truth and the family was lying, and then went public, hence the reason for the video. Well, the producer called me. He'd already heard some of my kids' songs, so he told me what he wanted for Strong Kids, Safe Kids. That's the name of the video. It was to be distributed by Paramount. Henry Winkler and the Fonz were hosting it. Mariette Hartley and John Ritter, both big TV stars at the time, were also on it, plus 2 psychologists and me. I was to write 8 songs. One of them, they wanted to specifically and properly identify our private parts. No euphemisms, the proper word. So when my taping time came, they had me at different locations around a playground for each of the songs. One time on a merry-go-round, another time in a big concrete pipe, that kind of thing. For It's the Proper Word, they had me at the top of a sliding board with my baritone uke. Did a couple of takes, both of them were okay. And then the producer came up to me and asked me if I'd do it again, but put a little more personality into it. I said, I didn't think that was a good idea. And when he asked me why, I said, if I do, it could end up on a comedy highlight reel. I don't think they ever understood what to expect from that song, but they wanted it, so I wrote it. I screened the finished video with my Fox friend and his 2 kids, a boy and a girl, both under 10. I watched the kids out of the corner of my eye when It's the Proper Word came on. They exchanged a quick glance and then probably drew blood biting the inside of their cheeks to keep from laughing in front of us adults. I could see it was killing them. When Henry Winkler went around the country to launch the video, everywhere he went, he told me, the only thing anybody talked about was It's the Proper Word. 2 morning DJs in LA lifted the song off the video and played it on the air for a friend of theirs who had just given birth. I had a meeting in a production office later that same day, and when I got there, the receptionist asked me if I'd heard the DJs that morning. I said no. She told me about this hilarious song that they played, which identified people's private parts. All I could think was, great, somebody else has written a song just like mine and got it on the air. But it was my song. The Federal Communications Commission is the guardian of the airwaves in America. Somebody must have complained because the FCC contacted that radio station and told them that their broadcast license was in jeopardy because of my song. Here it is.
A lion's not a kitty cat, whether wild or tame, but people sometimes try to give a thing a different name. We often feel embarrassed or even feel some shame. But when speaking of our private parts, here's what to proclaim. That penis is what boys have down in front. Penis is the word, though it seems blunt. All boys have a penis, so no matter what you've heard, remember that penis is the proper word. Vulva is what girls have down below. Vulva, when she's naked, it will show. All girls have a vulva, so no matter what you've heard, remember that vulva is the proper word. Both boys and girls have breasts. Each person recognizes they're found upon our chests and grow to different sizes. Our anus is a useful thing indeed. The anus gives relief in time of need. We all have an anus, so no matter what you've heard, remember that anus is the proper word. So don't be appalled, 'cause that's what they're called, and each of them's the proper word for private part.
And just to put a button on that story, the psychologist who became a celebrity after exposing this family's nefarious activities was later proven to have put words in the kids' mouths. The family had been innocent all along. While all the folks in Venice may call it table tennis, to me it's just a ping-pong song.